Alright folks, pitching Ace 88, we are back. Criminal Case on Facebook. Let's head on to chapter number 3. Ace, this case is even more complicated than we anticipated. Chief Inspector Halston knew Nora was in danger, yet could not, or did not, offer her police protection, and Miss Wolf, on the other hand, offered more and more than she bargained for. Hey Ace, I was carrying out an experiment with radio waves when I accidentally stumbled across some sort of Union broadcast. It's Gus Smiffle. He's calling for the Crystal Palace to be knocked down. Mr. Sniffle wants the Crystal Palace knocked down? So much for his talk of it being his legacy. We must speak with him at once. Pull down the palace. Pull down the palace. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a breach of the peace. You must cease this at once. Fat chance, Senior Trooper Race. We built this palace, and it's our right to see it destroyed. Alright. Everybody out here. Mr. Smiffle, we're going to need to have a word with you in private. What? Interesting, Mr. Smiffle. What does it mean, this, Mr. Smiffle? You told us earlier that you had hoped your work on the Crystal Palace would be your legacy, and now you wish to have it demolished? Yeah, I knew you wouldn't understand nothing. Senior Trooper Race, I did everything to get on this project. I even ignored my fear of heights, and let me tell you, it weren't easy. I thought it'd be an honor to help build the Crystal Palace, but now I'd be happy to kick the whole thing down with my work boot. So what changed? Miss Barlow, she's what changed in it. She was under pressure to finish the work in time, so she started cutting corners, asking us to do shoddy work. But shoddy work costs lives, Senior Trooper Race, and that building ain't safe, and therefore it ain't gonna open. I'm gonna make sure of that. Alright, well, just calm your jets. Cool your jets just a little bit. And if we can't tear it down, then I'm telling you, we ain't gonna add another beam to it until someone else takes over the projects and makes it safe. Well, we can commend your selflessness, Mr. Smiffle, but let's hope that you didn't take one life in order to save many. Yeah, my guess is it's him. Shrewd deduction, Ace. Gus was holding the place card in his right hand. That must mean he's right-handed, just like our killer. And you're right, we already knew the Crystal Palace project was running behind schedule, but we had no idea that Nora was under so much pressure that she was forcing her laborers to cut corners. If we wish to learn exactly what was going on behind the scenes, we should get to the workers' canteen post-haste. Post-haste. Yeah, he's on my, he's at the top of my suspect list. There's something. See what we got here. Nice. Get an extra star just for that. Sweet. Ace, your attraction to trash cans is beyond me, but please don't let me stop you from searching through it. And I'm sure that you'll magically transform this torn paper into a clue in just a few moments. But Ace, we've got workers itching to demolish the place, and a mayor desperate to salvage the exhibition. Better get to work and solve this murder. Agree. Agree. Alright, yeah, figured that was just going to take a little bit of time. Now it's Morse code. Hey, this tiny piece of paper you found on the trash can is filled with Morse code. It resembles the saved data from a telegraph machine. Troy's always blabbering on about how much he loves the telegraph machines. He should be able to translate this message for us in no time. So when you mean no time, you mean like 15 minutes? Oh, 9 hours, okay. Must take us 9 hours just to get it over to him. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to dust this thing off. Well, this is clearly some kind of architectural sketch, Ace. It definitely is. Perhaps it belonged to the victim. We should only find out by recovering the faded parts. So what do we got? Look like you drew it with your left hand. The comment on the sketch reads, looks like you drew with your left hand, and there's a grade next to it, an F-. Ah, and look, this sketch was turned in by Miss Barnlow's student, Henrietta Vanderbilt. During the state we found it in, Henrietta must have been pretty upset with the grade our victim gave her. Let us question her. For sure. Miss Vanderbilt, since your brace found this comment your professor left on your sketch. She called it utter tripe. That must have been hard to swallow. Oh, where did you find that? I tore it to pieces. I was devastated to receive such a poor grade. I'd been so certain I had a resplendent career as an architect ahead of me, despite my fear of heights. But then my father died unexpectedly during my finals, and my right hand was shaking so much I could barely draw a straight line during the exam. I tried to explain the situation to the professor to see if I could retake the exams, but she wasn't having any of it. She told me that if I couldn't cope with my father's death, then I'd never succeed in a male-dominated industry. Wow. I'm sorry to hear about your loss, Miss Vanderbilt, but as soon as your brace discovers you killed Miss Barnlow, then you shan't be making it anywhere except prison. Oh, it's between her and the guy. Interesting. I still think it's the guy. Smiffle. His name is just crazy. But anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in 9 hours. Been Pitching Against 88. Au revoir. Alright folks, Pitching Against 88, we are back. And yes, I did edit that part out. So anyways, what with radio waves and telegrams, I can't stop marveling at just how simple it is to contact people these days. At this rate, it shall soon be possible for anyone on the planet to be in contact with their loved ones instantaneously. Oh, I should hardly want my mother to be able to contact me at any given moment. Well, anyhow, I managed to translate the message for you. It reads, "You're off the project, Nora." Off the project? Well, whoever sent this must have been referring to the Crystal Palace. Who was the telegram signed by? Well, it wasn't signed. The papers remaining code showed the message concerning the type of affairs dealt with by local administration. You know, housing, public transport, that sort of stuff. Local administration, Ace, and this message must have come from the mayor's office. So, the mayor told Nora she was off the project. That hardly fits with the glowing account he gave of her earlier. We must speak with him at once. Not surprising in the least. Oh, this is a bad time, Senior Brace. I just had my photograph taken on by the Ferris wheel to promote the world exhibition, and I suffer terribly from a fear of heights. I'm afraid this cannot wait. We found this telegram you sent to Miss Barlow, telling her that she was off the Crystal Palace project. Oh, where did you find that, Senior Trooper Ace? Well, if you must know, I was not satisfied with Nora's performance. The woman had vastly underestimated the time required to complete the Crystal Palace. She tried to tell me that creativity mattered over punctuality. So I started looking for another architect to take over the project, but Nora refused to step down. Oh, so what you're telling us is that Nora's death played in your favor. Take the good with the bad, that's what I always say. Anyhow, I must be getting on. Good day with you. Ace, if you told me earlier that we'd end up investigating not one but 2 public officials for the murder of a prominent architect, I should have laughed in your face. And there's Gus Smiffle, who is furious that the victim forced him to help build what he deems to be an unsafe structure. And Henrietta Vanderbilt, who had her hopes of being an architect dashed for the victim. Although there's certainly no shortage of suspects with solid motives, Ace, but we do have a shortage of clues. So let's return to the scene of the crime at once. Don't understand why we don't just go there again in the beginning, but c'est la vie. Again, almost at 500. I'm no longer Senior Trooper Ace at that point. Can't remember who I am, but I definitely get brought up a little bit. Alright, so pocket knife, dartboard, glove, 7, clock, and blue blanket. Oh, we're gonna get a star here? That'd be sweet. Yeah. EXP. I never complain about that. Ace's pocket knife must be the one our killer used to cut the rope suspending the glass, which was collapsed on Nora. Let's collect a sample of that dark stuff trapped on the knife, swiftly. And if you believe this to be the cover for the rope spool we found earlier, well, you're right. That's most certainly a work boot print. That means our killer must have stepped on it. We must vacuum up whatever these remnants are in the corner. Well, this killer might have fashioned themselves a noose from the rope they cut, Ace, but because these clues are sure to be their downfall. For sure. Examined these two, 9 hours, 15 hours. This is sweet. I don't know why, but I really like this case. Maybe because it's new. It's like a new area. Ace, let's send these flakes you collect from the rope spool cover to Viola swiftly. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, we're gonna have a 15-hour one, so let's do this one first. Nice. Well, time to get cracking. Send that dark fluff you collect from the killer's pocket knife to Viola, Ace. Will do. Alright, guys. I will see you guys in 15 hours. Maybe grab some stars. This has been Pitching Ace 88. Au revoir. Alright, folks. Pitching Ace 88. We are back. Let's arrest this killer. Hang on there a moment, Ace. I'm just putting the finishing touches. Hey, look. It's a caricature of Isaac. Wow, well, you really caught his grumpy expression well, Viola. But what does that have to do with those flakes Ace collected from the rope spool cover? Well, there's everything to do with them. Firstly, I can tell you that these flakes contain traces of boot wax. Well, that makes sense, given that the killer stepped on the cover. But what exactly are they? The flakes Ace collected from the cover are a combination of graphite and wood, mostly common found together in the form of a pencil. More specifically, I determined from the shape of the shavings that this particular pencil contains a circular lead rather than those square ones we're used to. This type of pencil is called the Wixon CC, and it has only just come on the market. Very few people have them, but you'll recognize it thanks to its red coating. So our killer has a Wixon CC pencil. They practically signed their own arrest warrant, Ace. Interesting. I was not looking for a pencil. Well, I must say, Ace, you certainly do enjoy challenging my abilities. This dark fluff you collect from the killer's pocket knife had me quite stumped. Figuring out that it was dyed wool was easy enough, but it took me some time to ascertain that this wool had undergone an intense matting, condensing, and pressing process in order to bind it to a fabric we know as felt. Felt? But what would our killer have been doing with felt? Well, felt has a few uses for which an individual would keep it on their person, except one. Felt is used for the confection of hats. So our killer wears a felt hat. Well, it'll be hats off to you once we got them in irons, Ace. Boom. Ace, we have amassed all the evidence we need to arrest Nora Barnlow's killer. Let us proceed. Well, they all essentially wear hats, but my guess is it's going to be her. Oh, you have one too. Probably not you. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yep, assistant. That was easy enough. Well, Miss Vanderbilt, you're under arrest for the murder of Nora Barnlow. Wait, why would I have killed her? For a bad grade? Failed grades are a part of everyone's studies, Senior Trooper Ace. Yeah, then why did Senior Trooper Ace find traces of your boot wax on the rope spool used to hoist up the painted glass which brought Nora to her end? Well, the professor was murdered on a building site. Whoever killed her would hardly have been wearing a pair of heels. And what about the felt we found on the pocket knife you used to cut the rope? It came from your hat. Well, a hat is not such an unusual accoutrement, Ace. Most people possess at least one. Yeah, let's cease this charade. We found the threat you left in Nora's planner, in which you accidentally revealed your fear of heights. Oh, now you're just plain lying. My note didn't even mention my fear of... Oops. Oh, so you confess. You did kill Miss Barnlow. Fine, I did kill the wretch, but it was an eye for an eye. I hardly think a poor grade is equal to murder, Miss Vanderbilt. Oh, you fail to understand, Senior Trooper Ace. I didn't kill Miss Barlow because of my exam. I murdered her because she took my dear papa's life. Wait, what? You told us that your father passed away during your exam. Surely Miss Barnlow didn't kill him herself. Papa was an architect too. He was in competition with Miss Barnlow for the Crystal Palace project. His design was far superior to her silly house of glass cards. But then the mayor came out in favor of Miss Barnlow, and then she won the project. My poor Papa was distraught. Papa was so ashamed of having lost that I came home one day to find that he had taken his own life. What? It wasn't fair that Nora still got to live while my Papa was gone forever. Well, that's a tragic story to be sure, Miss Vanderbilt, and taking one life will not bring another back. You're under arrest for the murder of Miss Barnlow. Miss Vanderbilt, you stand accused of murdering Miss Barnlow by dropping a pane of glass on her? I suppose at least the youth of today do not lack imagination. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. She took my dear papa away from me, so I took her life. Yes, I see here that your father committed suicide after losing a project to the victim. Talk about bad sportsmanship. Anyhow, I have feigned interest in this affair for long enough. Miss Vanderbilt, I hereby sentence you to 30 years in jail for the murder of Miss Barnlow. Oh, so be it. Nothing matters now that my papa is no longer here. Jeez. Yeah, your dad should have thought about you. Selfish. Fine job of putting Miss Barnlow's killer behind bars, Ace. Hopefully Mayor Castletown will cease breathing down my neck now. Chief Wright, I require a word. Wait, Judge Takakura? This is unprecedented. You've never paid us a visit before. Why should I? I have far better things to do in my free time. Anyhow, you shall be seeing even less of me in the future. Wait, what on earth do you mean? Well, I'm no longer the bright-eyed, optimistic idealist I was when I first entered this profession. Nowadays, the spoiled offspring of millionaires get a tap on the wrist rather than the gallows, and I'm not even consulted. And so, I'm retiring. Wait, retiring? But this city needs a judge. Well, then it's high time the mayor starts looking for one, because I don't have many trials left in me. I trust you'll inform him of my decision, Senior Brace. Good day. Wait, what? Well, I suppose I shall have to report the news to the mayor, Ace. In the meantime, your objective remains unchanged. I'm counting on you to ensure that the World Exhibition runs to plan. Wow, he's leaving us. No. We'll figure out in the additional investigation, which is called the Gears of Change. Sweet. See you guys then. This has been Pitching Ace 88. Over and out.